The early development of sociology as a discipline was entwined with concern about the effects of the loosening ties of religion upon the social order, as contemporary Western religious belief emphasizes the decline of the supernatural. Ritual crime and ritual abuse has remained ever present despite the Enlightenment. Ritual crime is an extreme form of abuse of mainly children and non-consenting adults. It is methodical, systematic sexual, physical, emotional, and spiritual abuse, which often includes mind control, torture, and highly illegal and immoral activities such as murder, child pornography, and prostitution. The abuse is justified by a religious or political ideology. However, not all engage in illegal activity. Examples of ritual crime include animal mutilations, trafficking of illegal drugs, kidnapping, sexual child abuse, rape, and murder. In the past 12 months, the Metropolitan Police received 27 allegations of ritual crime in England and Wales, including 2 claims of rape, a child being swung around and smacked in the head to drive out the devil, and other young people being dunked in water. This finding was supported by Lafontaine. The police also say that more cases of ritual child abuse linked to belief in witchcraft are being reported, and has increased year on year over the last decade. Many believe that some people are drawn into satanic and ritual crime by heavy rock music such as Iron Maiden, with their album covers and lyric choices. This helped lead to the creation of moral panics throughout the 1980s and into the 1990s, although many now believe it contained little or no validity beyond paranoia. This presentation will now look at some of the more well-known cases of ritual crime, many of which can still be seen around the world today. Mutai killings are often associated with South Africa and are more commonly known as medicine murders, as they use body parts as ingredients to form medicines. This type are said to be on the rise again in the last few years. In southern Africa, it is thought that approximately 70% of the population believe in black magic and witchcraft, with many believing that the best Mutai medicine ingredients are best taken from victims that are still alive. Their methods are particularly brutal, cutting off limbs, breasts, and other body parts from their victims, and they are often done close to rivers or other bodies of water, much like that of the body found of the boy in the River Thames in 2001, known as Adam. Potion was found in his body, which prompted large media coverage. The killer is yet to be identified. This case is not too dissimilar to that of Christy Bamu, who was tortured to death for being a witch because he had wet his pants and was later drowned in a bath. Human sacrifice has been practiced in various cultures throughout history. The Thuggee is no exception to this and can be dated back to at least the 14th century. Thuggee refers to the acts of thugs, who are an organised gang of professional assassins. They were particularly popular in South Asia and particularly in India. Through the use of handkerchiefs or a noose tied around the necks of their victims, the Thuggee strangled over 30,000 native people and the travellers as a sacrifice to their goddess Kali, the Dark Mother. The robbery became less a question of solving problems of poverty and more of a profession. Membership within the group was often passed from father to son in what would now be termed a criminal underclass. Kali was the Hindu goddess of creation, preservation and destruction, and it was thought to be evil not to sacrifice humans for Kali. The Thuggee think that they are children of Kali, and they held gatherings and rituals with dead victims, and to also initiate new Thuggee members. Although isolated cases of thugs' proficiency with a noose still exist in India and other parts of the world, the stranglers of the goddess of Kali no longer exist as a secret society today. The designation of thug, however, remains as a negative term applied to brutish criminals.
The men Alan claims kidnapped him for sacrifice live in this village. They were arrested and released without charge. But members of this community have told us that they continue to take children and sacrifice them. Posing as businessmen, we asked around for a witch doctor who could bring success to our local construction project. We were introduced to this man, Awali.
Go inside.
During the first meeting, Awali sacrificed a goat to bring luck to the business. A few days later, we were invited back to his shrine to discuss what he regards as the most powerful spell, child sacrifice.
There are 2 ways of doing this. We can bury the child alive on your construction site, or we cut the child and put their blood in a bottle of spiritual medicine. If it's a male, the whole head is cut off. and his genitals. We will dig a hole at your construction site and bury the feet and the hands
Even the feet.
and put them all together in the hole.
Alan, do you recognise this man?
Awal.
And is he one of the men that took you, Alan?
Gua awal.
Yes?
Yeah.
It's too dangerous to confront Awali, so we informed the police of our findings. Official police figures show 38 children have been victims of sacrifice since 2006, a number based solely on conclusive investigations. Charities complain 900 reported cases remain outstanding, including Alan's.
Human trafficking is another form of ritual crime that is a huge concern to many. The UK is home to an estimated 10 to 13,000 victims of modern slavery, including women forced into prostitution and imprisoned domestic workers and labourers. Home Secretary Theresa May demanded that we must step up the fight against modern slavery in this country and internationally. BBC News found that between 2007 and 2011, at least 400 African children had been abducted and trafficked to the UK and rescued by British authorities. Often, once they arrive in Britain, they are exposed to violent and degrading treatments, often involving the forced extraction of blood to be used for clients demanding blood rituals. In a lot of cases, the ritual is secondary to the sexual abuse. In recent years, ritual killings in Gabon have come to light. Here, mutilated bodies are washed up on the shores, often young girls whose lips, tongues, genitals and other organs had been removed. The body parts of humans and animals are prized by some in Central Africa for their supposed supernatural powers. Despite its brutal nature, many people tend not to believe victims' stories of ritual crime, making conviction rates relatively low. Much work is still yet to be done to protect and support the most vulnerable people in the world concerning ritual crime.